Greetings to everyone watching this presentation. It's a pleasure to share this research with you. The work presented here is called A.I.Magination, Appropriations, Realities, and Hybridisms. A.I.Magination showcases digital artworks exhibited in the Voxel's metaverse environment. This conception of digital artistic exhibition arises from the research conducted by the Laboratory of Front Poetics for over a decade at the intersections of art, science, and technology fields. The research group is led by Professor Dr. Pablo Gabeira, curator of the A.I.Magination exhibition. The lab front is located at the State University of Minas Gerais, Brazil, at the Ganyard School unit. The research group is also registered with CNPq, National Council for Scientific and Technological Development, the Brazilian National Council for Scientific and Technological Development. The exhibition is a multi-lab proposition, an outreach project aimed at greater integration of the academic and non-academic community in artistic and cultural actions facilitated by LabFront. Opened on April 10, 2023, with an artist and curator conversation, the curation project for the A.I.Magination exhibition involves plans for exhibition design, environment design, assembly, graphic design, communication, and education. The poetics of A.I.Magination arise from the curatorial team's interests in the teachings of 20th-century avant-gardes and their application after the emergence of computers in the mid-20th century. The emergence of computers marks a shift in the role played by the traditional curator within the art system. Thus, after the mid-20th century, the curator needs to update their exhibition paradigms to meet the demands of the digital art system. Through this, the A.I.Magination exhibition appropriates artificial intelligence and their hybridisms to propose a multiplication of realities. In addition to the exhibiting artists using various techniques and collaborative processes to create the presented works, the curatorial team also experimented with AI to compose the visual identity, the construction of three-dimensional environments, the conceptualization, and the promotion of this exhibition. To clarify the understanding of these experimentations and convergences, I will develop a fundamental concept of the creative process in the conception of the artworks in the exhibition space, as well as the curatorial approach, more specifically, the concept of appropriation. Appropriation arises in the practices and theories of the 20th century avant-gardes, specifically in the experiences of the early 20th century vanguards. It extends through the vanguards throughout the century. For example, this practice can be seen in the Dada practices already in the early century, which, according to Walter Benjamin, ruthlessly annihilated the aura of their creations, which they stigmatize as reproduction, with the instruments of production. Beyond Dada, appropriation can be recognized in various vanguards, in different ways, with different names given by the vanguard movements, such as in the surrealist and situationist practices. The situationists, for example, named their practice diversion or détournement, which, according to the text published in the Belgian situationist newspaper in 1956, makes use of any element. After outlining a brief history of the use of this practice, we still lack a concrete definition of what appropriation is, but before that, it is necessary to raise a question that precedes appropriation, the question of the nature of authorship, which, in a way, justifies this artistic practice. This question was raised by Benjamin in the early century in The Work of Art in the Age of Mechanical Reproduction. Benjamin, when conducting a historical overview of reproduction techniques, notes that these techniques alter the entire history of art after their emergence. He says, for the first time in history, hands have been liberated from the most important role in artistic production, and this accelerates the production of images. Because of this acceleration, technical reproducibility can put the copy of the original in situations impossible for the original itself, that is, its access and massification become evident. Faced with this possibility of copying the original and its massification, the here and now of the work of art needs to be recovered. Its existence is no longer unique. With this, Benjamin exposes the loss of the authenticity of the work of art through the development of technical reproducibility. Well, precisely because of the loss of authenticity, the 20th century avant-garde understood that everything could be used, any element, image, video, sound, etc. According to Debord, there is no limit to correcting a work or integrating various fragments of obsolete works into a new one. Therefore, appropriation is precisely this, the use of any elements of any technical nature, combining fragments and transforming them into something new, thus establishing a new relationship and syntactic organization. At this moment, it becomes possible to understand that the state of art in the decade where avant-garde actions explode has a high degree of hybridism and experimentation. Just concepts that participate in the discussion posed in A.I.Magination is due to the unique moment in which the appropriation of elements and objects is possible. A visible revolution in thought and actions within the field of art emerges, especially when considering Benjamin's publications such as the aforementioned, The Work of Art in the Age of Mechanical Reproduction, or the discussions found in Author as Producer. The field is transfigured, and new ways of making, discussing, and combating the arts have emerged. It is necessary to understand that using infocognotechnologies is an inescapable reality today. According to Gabira and Silva, 2023, this technological convergence is development operated through the intersection of information and cognitive technologies. Gabira, Silva, 2023, page 8. However, among the various fields and uses of this convergence, those that most influence creativity are artificial intelligence, AI, and cognitive computing, CC, which are more comprehensive than AI. While AIs are defined as software programmed to simulate cognitive ability according with Gabira and Silva, 2023, and cognitive computing as advances in computational technology which expands as advances are made in big data, Internet of Things, IoT, machine learning, and artificial intelligence as Nevish, 2021, tell us. Thus, due to the high development of infocognotechnologies today and the impact these technologies are bringing to our way of life, where countless data are generated and processed at all times and worldwide by computers, it becomes impossible not to investigate the possible poetic creations that arise from this context. This is the case with the A.I.Magination. It arises exactly in this context in which cognitive technologies are increasingly accessible to the general public, with the possibility of access to several free tools, whether in beta mode or not. In addition, the effectiveness of the exhibition is only possible through curatorial multidisciplinarity between art, science, and technology. Expanding the frontier of possibilities in the field of digital arts means that works of this type are arranged in the same exhibition space. Finally, after discussing all this, we started the presentation of the exhibition A.I.Magination, Appropriations, Hybridity, and Realities. The exhibition originated from the classes offered at the Ganyard School UEMG with the name 8 Lie Transarts. In it, we discuss questions related to the vanguards of the 20th century with students, extracting the 3 concepts pillars of the exhibition: appropriations, hybridism, and realities. In addition to presenting these issues, we also demonstrate and present the use of infocognotechnologies within art. Expanding the possible tools to carry out creations with the aid of AIS, primarily free and quick learning tools, thus putting students of the plastic arts in contact with the arts, science, and technology fields. At the end of the course, students were invited to participate in an exhibition in the blockchain metaverse, Voxels, previously going through my curation. Thus, it is necessary to highlight 2 aspects of curation and exhibition that delineate the collaboration with AIS in the artworks and in the construction of A.I.Magination. Initially, through the visual identity, ID, the Stable Diffusion software was used to generate a database with static images of all works on display in A.I.Magination, to extract necessary information through the text-to-image mode of the composition of an ID, color palette, typography, and graphic elements. After the AI response to images of these 3 characteristics of a visual identity, there was another manipulation through image manipulation software for the graphic finalization of the identity seen in the exhibition. Second, the composition of 3D modeling was also collaborative with AI. With the help of AI, Midjourney was requested to anchor the modeling through prompts, exhibition strategies, and gallery models. Some prompts were: the gallery of an exhibition of digital visual arts in a parallel reality, the work stress reality by building alternative realities, the gallery in a project, minimalist style, for an exhibition of digital visual arts. Thus, through the answers obtained, it was appropriated architectural models created by AI to create the exhibition space seen in A.I.Magination. In conclusion, in the context described so far, curatorship may have played an active role in the poetics displayed in A.I.Magination, especially when we observe the use of infocognotechnologies. Developing the visual identity with the direct appropriation of the works exposed with the cognitive aid of artificial intelligence ensures a cohesive aesthetic. It demonstrates the poetic freedom of curatorship within the design exhibition. Later, New exhibition possibilities were found with the 3D modeling of the exhibition space also anchored in AI. Exhibition forms that directly interfere with how the audience interacts with the artwork, overcoming the complex arrangement and directly impacting the poetics of the artwork based on the curator's choices. For example, the way the artwork is organized concerning other pieces and the placement, whether on the wall, off the wall, or framed. Ultimately, all these exhibition choices within a 3D modeled space extrapolate and simultaneously create other poetic possibilities for curation.